Hey guys, and welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. True to form, just as I knew, I gave a little talk from a retro notebook the other day about um, opening your entire heart to an enemy in order to succeed. And I've already got some questions and comments and feedback, and I appreciate that, guys. I thank you very much. But one question in particular came from someone, and they asked me, they said, they said, we're kind of getting confused with you because, and I'm paraphrasing, that you talk about this tactic to crush and everything, and that you're not supposed to give any respect to the enemy or no concern for him or anything like that. You're just supposed to crush him because he's just going to he's just done. He's ended. And then you're telling me, on the other hand, talking about open up your entire heart to an enemy in order to win. And could you clarify that? Because I'm kind of confused because it sounds like you're saying two different things. And then I got another one that said something about what's all this touchy feely crap is in a fight. A fight's supposed to be about one thing, beating somebody's butt or whatever. But anyway, so I'm going to touch on it in a different way, throw a couple things at you in a different angle. I'm going to tie two things together we had and throw a different angle at you. Okay. For the guy who asked me about the difference between first you're saying to crush and now you're saying to open up your entire self. Okay. Remember, the purpose of a fight is not to win the fight. And I know people are going to be like that. What? If you're on a mastery level or you're looking for true mastery of the embodiment of the art of a martial art or the fighting capabilities of a martial art from the art perspective, you're looking for the philosophical perspective. You're looking for the spiritual component that is missing from just the physical practice. I mean, we can punch and chop and kick and all that all day long, but if you don't have a spiritual component or an emotional and psychological component to grasp why you're doing this and what the embodiment of the truth of this movement is, then you kind of missed the point. So going back to what I'm saying, this concept of crushing is about the fact that you have to do it because of a reason. But remember, when I talk about the fact that I'm not heart to an enemy, you're not doing it because. Okay, I'm not doing it because I have to crush you. I'm not doing it because I need to beat you. Basically, once the fight begins, you have to abandon all of that. And especially if you get into a situation where your adversary is maybe more physically skilled than you, your edge may truly be mental or spiritual, the will to fight. And so when I say opening your heart to an enemy, it's meaning that you truly have to have nothing at stake in this other than to fight, to do the fight, to fight, not to fight to win or anything, but truly to act, react, and interact with your adversary. That brings us to the concept of Iuchi and one timing, cutting the enemy just as he cuts you, treating him as an honored guest. Maybe because of where we are, because I live in America, so maybe because of where we are and some of the concepts that are conflicting all the time that we struggle with in our culture, you are not understanding that there are going to be times when you face an opponent or an adversary, if your life is long enough and it's rich enough and you move around and get around the world enough, that you may actually like, but still have to fight. Okay, every altercation isn't based on something stupid. Okay, you may very well have to face an adversary whom you have some level of respect for because of his, especially if you're a martial artist, because of his training, because of his culture, because of his interactions with you on previous days where you had a healthy respect for one another. Little bit of history lesson. Back in the old days of places like Okinawa and Japan, karate masters did not just go around willy-nilly challenging each other to a fight, because a fight was much more serious than it is today. And I shouldn't say that way, but the truth of the matter was they didn't just fight over stupid stuff. I mean, okay, Shorty Boo stepped on your shoe and now you shot him and he's dead over shoe. It wasn't like that. They fought for what they considered more important or higher reasons. And so when they fought, it was to the death. So it keeps you kind of honest because you don't swagger in and just challenge everybody to a fight when every fight is to the death. Kind of keeps you in check because you don't just be jumping out there doing whatever, because somebody might hand you your liver to show you how unpleased he is with your chutzpah, your hubris. Okay, so that's what I meant by opening your heart to an enemy, in terms of being truly at one with the enemy, opening up yourself completely, not hiding anything, and therefore in return you get to see his heart. Now, another side concept to this one is, what if you have to face somebody who's dear to you over something that maybe they deem important, but maybe you not so much? I'm telling you, you never fought a friend. Okay, if you haven't, live long enough, it'll happen. And you may have to take on that fight, battle, without being able to get the point across that you're trying to get across to your friend, or to clear up the misunderstanding with your friend. And so opening your heart to your enemy in that case allows him to eventually see the truth, hopefully, if he's willing or she's willing. I always say he because I happen to be a guy, but if she's willing or he's willing, okay? And so everything is not one thing, okay? Yes, we learn to crush. Yes, we learn not to overextend ourselves. Yes, we learn to open our heart to an enemy. Yes, we learn to treat an enemy as an honored guest, okay? But none of those things is the only answer. If you think it is, you got a bunch of hammers, buddy, in your toolbox, and everything is not a freaking nail. So therefore, you need to be able to flex between principles depending on what adversary you face in the situation. Flexibility is power. Okay, power isn't just hard driving linear haya. Okay, sometimes power is being able to move, flex, and flow with the situations in order to maintain your control over yourself, and then from that point over the situation. This is getting a little long, so I'll try to end it quick. But basically, you want to take the concepts of Ayuchi that I talked about before and put it with this last concept of opening your heart to an enemy. Because treating your enemy as an honored guest allows you to take out things like who's right, who's wrong, may I win, may I lose, and just focus on truly the purity of the action, reaction, and interaction of the fight itself. Then the outcome will take care of itself. It's going to regardless. So therefore, instead of having no respect for the enemy, there are going to be enemies or adversaries that you have total respect for, and they for you. And those are some of the best fights you'll ever have, especially if they happen not to be to the death. So anyway, hope that helped. Again, appreciate the question because it did make me think a little deeper about it. Send me your comments. Subscribe if you like. If you don't, hey, that's what search engines are for. You will find what you need very soon, I hope. In the meantime, thank you for sharing my armchair, and thank you for the question. Hopefully that answered. Sorry it took so long, and hope you have a great day whenever and wherever you are.